Welcome everybody to the Broken Wing Racing League. This is the GT3 Sprint Championship. This is season 14, round 1 at Sebring. And we are in practice. 12 minutes of practice remains, and it's a full grid. Unsurprisingly, it's a full grid, but we got 15 rookies. New drivers that have not taken place, or not raced in the league just yet, but this is going to be their first one, so a lot of new names. A lot of the same people that have been here before. Cap F1 Shy Finger, thank you for the prime sub, as well as Unread 31 for the follow, and Ann Cant 2180 for the follow, and Upbeat if you're around for the follow as well. Thanks. A couple people that joined recently. Yeah, we actually have 62 people. Technically, it's a full grid, but 62 drivers that are on the grid. Everyone's done laps. Some drivers have done a significant number of laps. Going over a driver who's sitting in the pit lane. He's only done 3 laps so far. This is Colby Mann. Colby Mann, I believe, has been here before. At least one race. Christopher Russo. Unmistakable livery for him. Had a memorable first race at Spa last season, in season 13. Let's see if he can get between the white lines here on this one, on this race. Going over to our list of drivers that are new. Ethan Bass. Looks like this driver's new. I don't think I've seen him before. Jason M. Allen in P10 right now. I think he's new. Joshua Spears, also definitely new. Looks like he's running the rookies. I guess the dark red's going to be for rookies. Decals. Going down further the order here, we have Wesley Bryce. Also, I believe is new. Chris Moulton's done a few races, or one, maybe more than one. Not sure exactly. He's done more than that. Michael Thompson, I should say, a rookie, is new here. Matthew Mercier is not new. He's raced, I think, half the season last. Chris Taylor, out there, one of the rookies. For Wisp Racing, it's the livery there for that one. That's P34. We still got 6 drivers on the grid. Braden Daniels, I don't think I've had to say that person's name before. They must be new. Philip Keyser in P54. Mark Miller, rookie driver, I believe. 55. Benito Mazzarello, another rookie. The red accents there. Hey, some of them were able to put these on. It's kind of nice. The red accent on the decals will let you know if they're a rookie, and one that has read the sporting regulations, as all decals should be applied before the session start. I think that's it. I think that, I mean, there might be a few other drivers. Jesus Christ. Look who forgot to change their audio settings there. Thank you, Martinez4690, for the follow. Just normal things that happen when you don't pay attention to streaming all week and then do it for your Sunday fun days. 8 minutes to go in practice, and then we'll go into a 15-minute qualifying session with 60 drivers on the grid. This is going to be a really challenging qualifying session. 62 drivers, I should say. Sorry, 62 drivers on the grid. And I have no idea. Alright, Martinez. Nice to see you. And Nicholas Massa is held this title for most of the racing, the practice session. A 2-minute .160 has been held that way since I think for the last hour now. See if he can't put it on pole. Christopher Daniel, they're in third. As Ethan Bass drivers, definitely new, but put that into P2 there. Cooper McCoy. Let's hope he practiced his pit entry. He's sitting in fourth right now in practice, and I guess the biggest difference here is where people's times really at. P1 and Trey Mistak goes to fourth. In the all right, where's it at? Dan Gleesack Racing. His teammate is Justin Scott. Congratulations, guys. I've had to say it. From P1 all the way to P24, with Wesley Bryce being the last driver in the 2-minute. That is where that discrepancy is. That's how far off or how close and tight that group is from 1 to 24. So a 0.9 of Wesley Bryce is where it really rounds out. Then you go to Chris Moulton in P25. He is the quickest driver in the 201s. From 25 all the way down to Eric Rodriguez, another driver in the pit lane, in 47, 25 to 47, still within the 201s. And you go to Scott Weber, Pro-Am driver. He's 48, and he's got a 202, almost even. It's a 202.035. Further back, and this one's the gap is smaller. 48 to 55 is the 202 still. After the 202s, we have drivers in the 203s onward to 62. The 62, this driver in 62 has not set a time on the board that is valid, so I actually can't tell. Christopher Russo had a 206, and that's 61. But Lee Winters did a 203, so 203s. That's where the bottom of the barrel is going to be for this leaderboard, with a few drivers not being able to make it into this race because it is full. Let's go over here. We have a driver who's not on. Let's see, Chris Lambeth, Jacob Simmons, maybe. Here we go. Jacob Simmons of the Jason's Chicken Shop janitorial team. God, man, that's going to be annoying to say. Jason's Chicken Shop janitorial team. Jacob Simmons and Chris Lambeth. Great job, guys. Wait, Chris Lambeth is on 2 teams? That doesn't make any sense. That can't be it. You can't collect 2. I don't think this is written incorrectly. I'm almost positive that's not written incorrectly. That's going to be on Andrew Korostecki. Definitely got that wrong. Mark Foley and Chris Lambeth are on the Jason's Chicken Shop. The janitorial team is Joshua Grasso. There you go. Do a little bit of investigative journalism here with 3 minutes to go in practice. So the janitorial team is Jacob Simmons and Joshua Grasso. Shadowline Racing of Brandon Burns and Blake Patterson. Missed Apex Racing of Max Poe and Spencer Smith. La Rosa and Jones Racing of Doug La Rosa. Little Lugnuts of Christopher Chitterling and Charles Whedon. They are out there. And new livery design for them. Southbound Racing of Philip Kieser. SimCity Racing 1 and 2. The first team, SimCity Racing 1, is Jason Allen and Nicholas Mazza. SimCity Racing 2 is Chris Stewart and Joshua Spears. Cars Racing Savage Speeders of Forrest Holland and Michael Sharon. Draft Punk Gold of Elliott Burton and Peter Flanner. Peter Flanner, is he here? He is here. He's in the pit lane. He's P8. Elliott Burton. Where is that driver? Elliott is in 39th. Pax Oceani placeholder of JD Daniel and Chris Daniel are out there as well, with the Pax Oceani insert name here, John Javecki and Alex Othen. Pax Oceani, Jimmer, Bimmer, Power Hour, Matthew Baldwin and Eric Neville. Asa Rays of Lars Tyhouse and Tom Smith. Unfortunately, Tom is unable to make this race because of it being packed already. It's unfortunate for the Asa Rays to start this one out. There are drop weeks, so that's unfortunate. You're going to have to use this as your drop week. Caffeine Global Motorsports returns, as always, the owner, Craig Carroll, followed by his teammate, Steve McAllister. Prosciutto Punch Racing of Andrew Korostecki and Eric Rodriguez. Another dynamic duo that are back on the team game as well. I don't think they've ever not been teammates. Darkwing Racing of Richard Severa and Michael Thompson. Untitled Team 1, Cooper McCoy and Tyler Anderson. How is Cooper McCoy out there on track? He is not. And Tyler Anderson, I don't even think he's here. Late. Pit Lane Donuts of Matt Benson and Jeff Koffold. Unfortunately, Matt was unable to register in time for this race, as it is packed. 62 drivers on the grid. Here for the SR of Brian Zaborowski and Josh Jablonski. A lot of skis on that team. Interesting. Well, we got 12 seconds left. That is 22 teams that have stated that they are going to be in Season 14 for the Team Championship. We got 23 pro oh, no, that's not right. We have 20 pro drivers, 25 pro-am drivers, and then 26 AM class drivers with 15 rookie drivers. All have registered, not for in this session, but in general for this this series for Season 14. So might have to end up splitting stuff up if this continues, but I highly doubt it. A lot of rookies are one and dones. They don't really follow the league with consistency. So I guess we'll see how that all works out. We're going to be going to qualifying, and it's a long lap around here at Sebring. So before we get to that, let me just do the quick promo. And we are back. Jacob Simmons is going to be the first driver to take us to car racing. Or actually, just qualifying. That's not true. Car racing. Anyway, Jacob Simmons out there in the front. He's got Jeff Lubitsch just behind him, Chris Lambeth, not his teammate. They are on different teams. If you're new to the grid, or new to Broken Wing Racing League, that gold or orange, it's orange, not gold, it's orange. That orange accent is hard to tell on Jacob Simmons because he has the other orange that basically aligns with it. It's a bit more bright, but anyway, the gold, orange I should say, and you can see all three types right there. That is a pro driver with the decals on his livery there. See mirrors in the side wings, side of the wings there, wing. And anyway, further back is Chris Lambeth, a pro-am driver. All the purple PAMs, that purple accents, and just behind is Jeff Lubitsch, an AM class driver. And you can see his blue accents for the AM class. Now there are other drivers that are out there that have actually decided to use the rookie accents. That isn't one of them. That's Peter Flanner. And I'm sure somebody can be a visual guide here. Here you go. Braden Daniels. That is a rookie Red. Rookie red. Look at that. I am rhyming it up today. Braden Daniels correctly adding the rookie accents, which is a red, to the Sim Motion. Sim Motion sponsors this league. Sponsors the GT3 and Brooklyn Le Mans Series. I don't know if it sponsors the V-Rays. I hardly think about that one. It definitely doesn't sponsor the ARCA series that we just switched over to from the Xfinity series. And we'll go back over to Jacob Simmons here and see if this roll cam can show us the driver on board. And if you're looking at that helmet, that is Venus and all of his glory. And someone parked on the side there, that's Benito Mazzarello. Looks like he went to the pits as well. Now this is where you're like, what is up with this traffic? He is caught up to the back of drivers who are out there on their flyer lap, and he's going to push again, but he's got a significant number of drivers ahead of him, 3, that it might impede his pace. Who knows? Changes are made so far. Jacob Simmons is down. He's got a 2:02.4. That is not an optimal time. From P1 to 25 were drivers in practice doing 2-minute point blah blah blah. The fastest one was a .160. Eric Neville just setting the fastest lap with a 4:45. A 2-minute Mark Foley just behind, who only had that and grazed it for just a little bit. You're gonna need a 2-minute. That is just the scope of where everything's at now. The pros are gonna get those times. Some of the pro-ams are gonna get those times. A lot of people practice for the Sebring 12-hour. There is Peter Flanner, who was P1 for a little bit, and just behind is JD Daniels looking to get a flash. He's got Lee Winters ahead of him and trying not to be impeded. There's only 19 drivers that have set times on the board, and setting a time on the board is better than nothing at this point because it is going to be a cluster. As you can see, Cooper McCoy also having to wrangle his way through this order. Now, the driver that I'm curious about and have not seen just yet is Nicholas Mazza, who's on the Ullman Straight. What can he do? He's got Jacob Simmons behind him. Oh, it's one of the drivers where he thought maybe he's going to be impeded. Not by Nicholas Mazza. Mazza is a quick driver. He was P1 in practice, and there's no doubt he can possibly put that thing back on pole in qualifying. As he crosses the line, where does that put him? He's got nothing out of that one. At last was a 2:03.4, but he must have hit track limit somewhere. So no time just yet. Richard Sevra, a driver who could possibly put himself into the 2-minute marker. And there's a lot of off tracks for a lot of drivers at this moment. Now we have 22 drivers that have set times on the board. This could be one of those qualifying sessions where it's better to just get a time on the board, because there will be at least a handful of drivers with no time allotted to them for not setting a valid lap. I mean, right now, everybody on the grid is out there on track with the exception of 3 drivers. Yeah, it's in only a third of the grid setting times on the board. Richard Sevra crosses the line with a 2-minute 2:01.6, puts him in the 19th. Good on him for that one. Michael Thompson going in 22nd. Chris Lambert still has not set a time on the board. It's not looking good for him in the Purple Pants Pro-Am class. Is this the one he goes with? It's a 201 point something. And that puts him into 19th, overtaking Matthew Mercier with a 201.4. Nicholas Massa about to cross the line. What can he do here? He's got a 201.1, I believe. Crosses and stops. And look at that. 3 drivers also. 2 other drivers stop with him. Interesting. Resets. He's P15 with that time on the board. Jason M. Allen. Also a driver. Oh, this is actually interesting. This is a rookie driver who was quickish in practice, but not this quick. Ethan Bass was the other driver that was, I think, in second. But he resets, and he's going back out with Nicholas Mazza. Are they teammates right now? Did I already call that one out there? Where is Mazza? SimCity Racing. Yeah, Jason Allen. Look at that. That is his teammate. That being said, Joshua Spears, another rookie behind. He's in a rookie sandwich. And they're all sporting the same livery. This is SimCity Racing 1 and 2. The only one that's not there is Chris Stewart. And I believe Chris Stewart's here. He's just on his own. And he is 19th at the moment. Has Dan gone yet? I don't think so. You know what? This is the one that's going to be most interesting. Trey Mistack is still not qualifying. I mean, I want him to qualify. I want him to see what he can do out there at the front of the field, but it is what it is. We have now 52 drivers that have set times on the board. 53 drivers. It was 52. Thanks, Jeff Lubitsch, for the Tier 1 subscription for 6 months. We won't have to see the ads, I'll tell you that. And, yeah, people are still improving. These 3, though, talk about team orders here. They are racing as a unit. Jason Allen leading them. Nicholas Mazza just behind, and Joshua Spears. This is SimCity Racing 1 and 2, with the exception of Chris Stewart, who's not with these drivers. SimCity Racing proving to use a team dynamic to help improve their qualifying chances. And here we go again. I mean, I don't even think I've seen Pax Oceani go this route. And Pax Oceani... Oof! Speaking of it, it's Alex Offen. Ask and you shall receive. Pax Oceani with a little bit of a kerfluffle there into turn 1. It happens. Hopefully he's back out there. But he is in 41st right now. He's got time to go out again. I heard the car was built around Mazda. Yeah. Get better. Ethan Bass. Bass? Puts the car on pole. A 2-minute .317. He's just barely quicker by 0.07 of a second faster than Jason M. Allen, as you can see on the leaderboard there. That is quick. Chris Stewart up into 13th. That's the SimCity Racing driver who's not with his teammates in qualifying. Anthony V. Jenkins crosses the line and goes into 23rd, overtaking Richard Sevra and Aaron Siciliano. Yeah, we have 4 drivers who have not set times on the board, and 2 drivers who have not set a valid time on the board. 4 that are just in the pit lane not doing anything. It's Trey Mistack, Doug LaRosa, Mark Miller, and Michael Offen. Eric Koonsman right now, who we're looking at, is a driver who's not set a time on the board, and he's got a very limited amount of time left to do something here. That was just through the Le Mans curves, and onto the Ullman straight he goes. He's got to pick up the pace. 2 minutes left in qualifying. You know, it wasn't as bad as I thought as far as traffic goes. I think everyone kind of split up fairly well. I think it might have played a little bit not in the hands for Jacob Simmons there. He is in P10, but had just a lot of traffic ahead of him when he was on his second flyer. And Eric Koonsman here, still no time on the board. And same could be said with Christopher Russo here. Also, no time on the board, but is out there. He might get one more lap in. Hopefully this is a valid lap. What lap is the safety car coming? I'm going to say lap 0. Right when they go through turn 1. I'm expecting that level of a melee. You got 15 rookie drivers that have entered this race, and then you have the variation of pro-ams, and am drivers that are all bunched together. A full grid of 62 people, drivers. It's not going to look good. Christopher Russo crosses the line here. Is this a valid lap for him? He's going again. He's got enough time. And it is not. Nothing there. Straight mid-stacks out there. Not going to make any difference for him. He's definitely not qualifying. Let's hear my top 3 before the race. Nicholas Mazza overtakes Joshua Grosso for P10. Elliot Burton overtaking Spencer Smith for P18. My top 3 is, I mean, as it stands right now, it's Christopher Daniel, Ethan Bass, and Jason Allen. I think Christopher Daniel, Peter Flanner, and maybe Jason Allen. Ethan Bass, maybe he gets there. P38 for Eric Koonsman. I'm not discrediting Ethan Bass, but both actually P2 and 3 are new drivers, so it's hard to say they're going to hold out the whole race here. I think Pax Oceani have a good set here. Ethan Bass crosses the line to go fastest. He's using the pro accents there. But I am almost positive I've never once had to say that driver's name. He's not even on our GT3 rankings. Once again, I blame Antrikor Stecki for not updating this. It's actually more. It's got to be a 16th driver. Ethan Bass. JD Daniel overtaking Matthew Wyckoff for P19. Both the Daniel brothers. No relation. Just having a little bit of fun there right at the exit. And that's not the driver I'm thinking about. That was Wesley Bryce who parked it, and Ethan Bass for parking it as well. Well, there's our one more person still out there, and that is JR Hoops in P52. Can he improve on his time? He does not. I got JL and Peter F, Christopher D. Yeah, Peter Flanner's 5th. I think he might be able to overtake Christopher Neville. And Eric Neville. Both Pax Oceanis are going to be pretty strong on this one, so it's going to be hard to say. P1 through 15, you can see on the leaderboard. They are right there. Congratulations to them for me not having to say their names. Jeff Koppel in 16. Chris Stewart in 17. Chris Shirling in 18, Elliott Burton 19, Spencer Smith 20, Joshua Spears 21, Marshall Scarry 22, Anthony V. Jenkins 23, Wesley Bryce 24, Craig Carroll 25, Brandon Renfro 26, Chris Taylor 27, Chris Lambert 28, Richard Sever 29, Aaron Siciliano 30, Blake Patterson 31, Brian Zaborowski Jr. in 32, Matthew Mercier in 33, Andrew Korstecki 34, Charles Whedon 35, Chris Moulton 36, Tyler Kern 37, Eric Kunzman 38, Colby Mann in 39, Braden Daniels in 40. That's 3 Daniels. Interesting. Oh, Daniels. Not he's got an S, so no relation. Terry Burke 41, Craig Reese in 42, Michael Thompson 43, Alex Authen 44, Scott Weber 45, Forrest Holland 46, Steve McAllister 47, Jeff Lubitsch 48, Matthew Baldwin 49, Dave Palmer 50, Benito Mazzarello 51, J.R. Hoops 52, Sandro Shirless in 53, Eric Rodriguez 54, Philip Kieser in 55, Travis Bartlett 56, having a stroke, Lee Winters 57, Christopher Russo 58, Trey Misek 59, Michael Authen 60, and that is it. 60, but he had 62. Almost positive. And we have Mark Miller in 61 and Doug LaRosa in 62. They are registered but not in this race. Don't see anything on that one. It's unfortunate because those 2 spots where 2 drivers are not actually on the grid. And oh no, I spoke too soon. Mark Miller has just entered. Good on him. So only 1 driver that has not. Eric Neville has not gone to the grid just yet, and we're at a limited time. There he goes. He pops in, and now, yeah, I hope that's it. Doug De La Rosa did not pop in, so it's gonna be interesting. This is gonna be a full formation lap. Yikes. What team is Trey on? Alright, Justin. Here you go. Trey Mistack is on Dan Gleesack Racing. That's so stupid. You guys are childish. Alright. Well, this full formation lap should get the tires up to temp. That's not true. It's not going to happen. We're still going to get people that aren't going to adhere to the cautions of cold tires, and they're going to inevitably die in this race. Lap 1, turn 1. Maybe turn 2. More likely turn 1. If I had to guess. Or bet. I'd bet on this one. There's Fark Moley in P6 with the Jason's Chicken Shop, the OG team, not the janitorial team. His teammate Chris Lambeth qualified further back in the lineup there. And as far as the Battle of the Chris's go, we got a lot more Chris's on board now. We have Christopher Daniel, Chris Stewart, Chris Chitterling, Chris Taylor, Chris Lambeth, Chris Moulton, Christopher Russo. It's a lot. It's a lot of Chris's. No, I don't play the janitors well. Why would you? Janitors. I could get my cousins to do that job. It's a full formation lap, and we are in what's technically Sector 2. another thing to note while we're still waiting, and we're about to get to the Ulman Straight here, is that the rookies will have to race at least 5 races before they are classified into our brackets. We have Pro, the orange accents, as you see there. Pro-Am, with the purple accents, as you can also see, some Pro-Ams. No AM class drivers really up in this order here. If we go further back, we might be able to see one. But nope, the first one we got is going to be Craig Carroll. He's in 25th. And those are that's the AM class. What's the difference there? And the red accent liveries are the drivers who are rookies that will have to stake claim to 5 races before they get classified in the new power rankings system that Andrew Korosecki has built. And thank you to him for using it, as we are going to go boogity boogity racing. I'm about to go 4 wide up there. Already it looks like it's 4 wide. But Ethan Bass getting out clean ahead right now at the moment. And it's looking pretty strong for him. And absolutely carnage behind. They are 3 wide, 2 wide, and it is still going fairly strong. Well on order for some of these drivers. Mark Foley going down 2 positions already. Cooper McCoy not gaining anything. I don't even think this is correct. And we already have a safety car, folks. Safety car, safety car. Everybody's checking up. And look at that. Turn 1. Let's see what happened, folks. Alright. There's no way. Okay, it is not letting me... Well, let's take a look at the scenic and see what happens here. It's not letting me look to see which driver that was. There's Mark Miller here. So what happened ahead... There's Craig Carroll. 4 wide. 4 wide. Yep. And yikes, that's a Pax Oceani driver and Craig Carroll coming together there. That would be Alex Othen. A blimp here. Yeah. And that is... You know what? Pirouettes. These drivers ahead end up checking up. We go further ahead. I don't even know who to go to. I can't see anything. There it is. Yikes. People having to take off to the runoff there. Michael Thompson maybe was involved in this. Go to blimp. No, it was already happening. That already happened, but where... Oh, there's just a huge checkup. Yeah, I mean, that's all that was. Braden Daniels? Actually, you know what? I think this was the driver. He's trying to get by. He does alright, but no, he's not the one that ended up getting hit. Well, my analysis is over. We're back on this race here. That was a safety car in turn 1, lap 1. Who would have thought, Justin, not you, not me, just the things that happen here at Sebring. I mean, 4 wide. That was a technical 4 wide into turn 1. I mean, folks, you're not going to win it into turn 1. Joshua Spears. I mean, now I want to go back here and go... He was involved somehow in this. I don't know. Well, if he was, actually, I don't even know what's going on there. He's on a tow, but it didn't show him actually getting hurt. Craig Carroll, Alex Otten are the only real ones that suffered. There is a driver that did get hit. Everyone had to check up. They have crashed. Lee Winters. He didn't crash. He crashed. Joshua Spears. It's one of those... At the start of this race, he's just blinks out completely and then comes back in. Well, I don't know what to say. We're still on a second. We're still on the first safety car. I don't even think another one's going to get thrown. They changed the rules to the safety car more than anything. I don't know. I was going to say something else, but I don't like to say anything. What an opening round. 62 drivers on the grid. 61 drivers remain. 1 driver has gone. Trey Mistack already into the pit lane. He did not get involved in that incident, I don't think. We still got a couple more sectors to go. I'm gonna go back here. No, that was lap 2. I think it was already a caution. Yeah, caution's already, I think, coming out when he goes into turn 1. Nah, he's going in quick. Oh. Yeah, well, caution's already out at this point, but nothing there. That being said, we're on the we're through the Le Mans curves right now, and then we're going to be going to car racing again. This is a motor race. Hopefully. Not much of one for 3 laps, I'll say that. It's been detective work more than anything, trying to determine what happened. And it was just 2 cars, technically, and a couple other cars checked up. into turn 2, and a couple people rear-ended each other, but for the most part, it looks like it's all fine, said and dandy. What can be different, though? Peter Flanner up 1 position, Eric Neville down 1 position, Cooper McCoy up 1, JD Daniel up 2, Mark Foley down 2. The changes were afoot. Ethan Bass holding this one out in P1 so far, through only 2 corners having to defend it. And Christopher Daniel may be able to take advantage here as we see that green flag wave, and we're back to racing. Already cut off there, and there is Jason Allen on the inside of Christopher Daniel, and whoa, he's going to go straight inside, and it looks like he even has Ethan Bass in hand, but no, he doesn't. But he might have Christopher Daniel. No, he doesn't. He's not even alongside him at this moment. It just played a trick there, and he's going to stay ahead. And already there's the 2 cars that are clashing as Mark Foley and Cooper McCoy. And Cooper McCoy goes dropping down the order. And he's now going to have to defend against Draft Punk Racing of Elliott Burton. And a second one, God, I can't even tell, Dylan Thomas. And that is just a 2-wide scenario up and down the grid here, going into some of these corners, as I can't even tell you who would where. Wesley Bryce is up 3 positions so far, Chris Lambeth up 9, and look how close these drivers are getting. It's almost like a traffic jam, as the full pace has not been able to be established just yet. We've only been through half a lap here of real racing. A couple blinkers back there, poor connections, it's fine. Which one is which? Spencer Smith, this driver he's battling. And Chris Chitterling is actually is in the the Acura. It's Marshall Scarry he's fighting. He gets ahead. Chris Chitterling's also battling here, a little mud guns with Spencer Smith, who's in that Acura on the right, but slots back in. And Mark Foley is now down 13 positions, and I don't believe his car is supposed to look like that on the front end. And that is going to be troubling for him. And yeah, he's going into the pit lane. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Chris Lambert now up 10 positions. And really showing that this is not the true pace of the race just yet, is the driver just did a 209.2. Race pace is definitely going to be in the low 2 minutes there. Other drivers gaining positions here. Oh, and that's not Craig Carroll, but Steve McAllister. What happened there? He lost it all on his own. He's got a rear end that is been hit as well. Goes tumbling down the order. Sandra Churlis up 8 positions. Travis Bartlett up 12. Mark Miller up 15. Mark Miller started from the back there. Alex Othen and JR Hoops are battling it out, and it goes to Alex Othen, who moves up a position. Trey Mistak up 18. Pit on lap 2. This must be the overall strategy here for Trey Mistak, and every other driver up a significant amount as well. Are those peanuts on Trey's car? You know exactly what those are, Justin. Quit with your nonsense. Looks like the driver here, Travis Bartlett, who's up 12, tried to make a late move there on JR Hoops. Didn't work just yet, but maybe he's going to come back to that one. We have Brian Zaborowski Jr. who goes across and gets ahead of Michael Offen, who's on the outside in that Red Bull livery, and Anthony V. Jenkins, who's down 26 positions. And I gotta say that it must be because of some type of mishap. 26. Everyone right now is down a significant number. Dixon, you, and that's all right. Oh man. This is a sponsored event, Justin. Joshua Grosso on the outside here. Now I'm able to make this work on Dylan Thomas, Draft Punk Silver. I don't think they even register that team. Joshua Grosso, not one to have started this race on a good foot. He's down 4 positions. Driver ahead of him's down 1. Cooper McCoy down 7. You know what happened with Cooper McCoy? He came into contact with another driver. Chris Lambert, though, and Chris Stewart. Actually, Chris Stewart, no positions gained or lost for him. He's got to at least feel lucky that he's just sporting it out in where he started. And this is 4 drivers who are just equal to each other on pace. You can see that last lap they all did 2:01s. Joshua Grosso was the faster of these drivers, 3/10 ahead. He's in the slipstream and just went slower than Dylan Thomas. And thank you, Colby Main, for the follow. Ooh, Chris Stewart goes wide, and that's going to open the door there for Chris Lambeth, but I don't think it's quite said and done. Getting really aggressive on the curbs, and now it is done. Chris Lambert taking that position. Spencer Smith just behind. Can he pull off a move here himself? Might try to take this too wide into the next corner. No, he doesn't. It's awfully close, though. Max Poe battling it out here with Cooper McCoy and Elliott Burton. He's going side by side with Elliott Burton, Draft Punk Gold driver. And it is not his. As Dylan Thomas and Chris Lambeth are, no, sorry, Joshua Grosso joining that little train. A few little trains have formed. Scott Weber up 9 positions, overtook Matthew Mercier just moments ago. And now Trey Mistack trying to make a move. Oh! Hey! He kept that driver straight. And Dan Gleasack Racing has a little bit of damage there on that front right. Moves he's made, now he's going to have to redo. Terry Burks is right there in front of him. They're side by side almost, and he's gonna concede this position for sure, but now have to make a clean overtake on Matthew Mercier. Braden Daniels up 9 positions. Matt Gold Thompson up 11 just behind. Chris Taylor down 3. This is 30th, 31, and 32. And they're all pretty close. Braden Daniels trying to make a move here on Chris Taylor. These are rookies, by the way. Not rookies in their own right, but rookies in our league. And they're going to go side by side with Michael Thomas just behind. The red accents really show them off there. Chris Taylor's in that pink and black Porsche. He's also a rookie. No classification for these drivers just yet, beyond that they are rookies to us, and they are all being pretty fair two of them have been gaining a lot of positions. One of them down 3. And can he make a move? They're both in a Porsche. And it is just a train of cars. Nobody making a move just yet. Can Marshall Scari do anything here? He's been in P22 since the start of this race. Not gained or lost anything with Richard Sebring. Giving him a little bit of pressure. Right there on his end. Oh man, I was going to say another word and it's going to get clipped again. Nicholas Mazza going side by side with Jacob Simmons into the start straight finish into turn 1. Nicholas Mazza holding it this position. He's 3 up from where he started. He's in P8 now. The Valhalla drivers behind in 10 and 11, Matthew Wyckoff and Jeff Koffel. I believe Jeff is in a team as well. He is in the pit lane donuts with Matt Benson. And we have some drivers that have gone in the pit lane. That was Alex Authen. Nope, that's not Alex Authen. That's... Who was that? That was Richard Sebring that went into the pit lane. I mean, it's possible to pit now and go to the end, but that is a very early pit stop for him. Craig Carroll stemming the bleed. He's only down 17 positions. He was down 25 positions, I believe, at one point. So he's found a little bit of pace, and he's pushing. He's got Travis Bartlett ahead of him. And can he make another position gained here? There are battles up and down the grid from 1 to 62, 61 now, I should say. Looks like he's very confident there on the exit and might be going towards Craig Carroll here. But not just yet, as they go through the Lamar curves. And even Brian Zaborowski Jr. is joining them in that teal and red Acura. No move just yet. Craig Reese, having gone by Jeff Lubitsch on the inside of Sunset, makes a move. He's up 10 positions now. Blake Patterson and Charles Whedon battling it out here. This is Pro-Am driver versus an AM class driver. Look at that rear end from Blake Patterson. He doesn't have one. And he is all slippery on that exit. And he's got Braden Daniels, Chris Taylor, and Michael Thompson joining this gaggle. And who's going to get by him first? If he's going to be able to defend his position here. It's like Braden Daniels hasn't made a move just yet. What is that paint on Grasso? I'll take a look in a second. Andrew Korostecki going side by side with Wesley Bryce. Brandon Renfro. Oof, getting blocked a little bit. That's actually going to help Brandon Renfro. So now on the outside line, passes Andrew Korostecki. That's got to sting. He was trying to make a move on Wesley Bryce there, and he gets blocked by the driver he's trying to make a move on, and then subsequently another driver gets by. Oh! And that is contact for both drivers as down goes Brandon Renfro down the order, and he's back out there, but that is 10 positions lost from that little maneuver. Looks like no paint was scratched on this car when he made contact. But that was contact. Going to P1 and 2. They've been separated by 3/10 for most of this race, and it has continued so far. Christopher Daniel has not made a move. Only change in the top 5 is Peter Flandre and Eric Neville, when Peter Flandre did get by Eric. But then you got just Pax Oceani train. You got Eric Neville, JD Daniel in 6th, and John Javecki in 7th, followed by Nicholas Mazza, the guy who was fastest in practice. It's like he has a little bit of damage on that front. Is Jeff going to make a move here on Jacob Simmons? He's gotten awfully close. And nothing just yet. Ooh, what is going on here? Oof. Ah, yikes. Who is it? Max Poe? Let's see that from the blimp. Looks like Joshua Grosso tries to make a move. Goes to the inside. And then bang. Ding. Ow. And that is it for those two. Got a ruffled front end. And is that gonna finally come off there? That bumper? It's like he's pushing it. iRacing physics at its finest. There it goes. Now it's trapped under his car. Nope. There it goes. Debris on the track in the Ullman Straight. Wesley Bryce gets by. He's going to have some front end issues there. He's going into the pit lane. Now, which drivers got ahead? Joshua Grosso as well as Chris Lambeth. But Chris Lambeth, up 14 positions, he actually gained the most out of this because he was ahead. He was behind Joshua Grosso. What is that paint on Grosso? What are you asking about this? The paint livery? He is a part of the which one is it? He's on Jason's Chicken Shop janitorial team with Jacob Simmons. It's not the same teammate. They're sister teammates to Jason's Chicken Shop. I can't even say it that well. I didn't even realize. That's probably why I hate chicken so much. And chicken sandwiches, I mean. Not chicken. I can't say that well. Or quickly, at least. Alright, people are going into the pit lane. What is happening back there? Benito Mazzarello doing some pirouettes here to get back on track. What is... Alright. Lost the rear. Alright. Oh, he's got a lot of track to work with. But he is waiting for the cars to... Oh, there's a car that pops up. And another car. Who knows what a chicken sandwich is? Definitely not Chris Lambeth. A couple people have lost it through sunset. Now people are pitting. It's Joshua Grosso into the pits. Serve his mandatory pit stop requirement to get some fuel. And I guess we'll see what stacks up here. Every driver... Actually, no. Mark Foley hit on lap 4. That's not going to the end of the race, so... Wonder what he's going to do here to make up for this. Chris Stewart and Chris Lambeth going side by side to turn 4. Turn 4? Yeah, it's technically turn 4. Maybe turn 5. It's fifth. I think it's fifth. What do I know? Chris Lambert had 14 positions gained, but lost one to Chris Stewart. There's John Javecki. Gonna make a move here. He's got JD Daniel ahead of him, and Nicholas Mazza putting the pressure. Jacob Simmons is a little bit further off from these drivers. 4/10, I would say. Nothing there. Pulling this back. Elliott Burton. Tight there into the Omen straight. Overtakes Cooper McCoy for position. And they are continuing to go. We still have, let's see, Braden Daniels. He's in 43rd position. He's, actually, no, he's not. Max Poe. Actually, no. It's Joshua Grosso. Joshua Grosso is in 34th position. Every driver ahead of him has not pit, but it looks like some of them are about to pit. He's got Sandro Churlis ahead of him. And now Andrew Korostecki's in the pits. Chris Lambert is exiting. This is crucial for Joshua Grosso because he was only about a second behind, or half a second behind his teammate. And on exit, he gets ahead of his sister teammate. They are not on the same team. And unfortunate for Chris Lambert, he might have to try to make that move again. And Chris Moulton hit on lap 4. Got Andrew Korostecki, who's on an out lap. This is for position, but he's going to have to lose it eventually when he goes into pits to get some more fuel. This fight is a little bit more interesting. Jason Allen, he's on similar pace as Christopher Daniel and Ethan Bass, but he's still a second off at the moment. Eric Neville continues. Peter Flanners, the driver who pits from 4th position. He's tumbling down the order, so we'll get to see what happens here for him when he gets back out on track. He's more than likely, he's going to stay ahead of Joshua Grosso, who was in, I think, 8th or 9th at the time when he pit. Matthew Wyckoff has been identical to Jeff Koffel, but these two have not switched positions. They are just running as almost like a single organism right now. They must be really, really close in terms of how they know how each other races, if they're that close on pace. The Elliott Burton right back there with Cooper McCoy still holding on. Peter Flanner exits into 21st position, losing 16 positions. And every driver ahead of him has not pit. Eric Rodriguez behind him, 1.5 seconds, is not pit as well. And Mark Foley pit on lap 10. Fortunately for Mark Foley, it's going to be going a little bit more pear-shaped when he gets back out there on track after he pits, because that is... I don't think he's going to make it to the end, even with fuel saving. He'll lose a lot more positions. All right, now we get to see Ethan Bass goes in, Jason Allen goes in, Christopher Daniel stays out, Eric Neville is in, JD Daniels stays out, John Javecki goes in. Nicholas Mazza goes in. Jeff Koffel, Matthew Wyckoff, Elliott Burton goes in. So does Cooper McCoy. Chris Stewart goes in. Spencer Smith going in. The real question is, where is Peter Flanner? He was 4th on the grid when he pit. Was this a smart move? Is he going to undercut anybody, or is he going to at least get back 4th position? Not at the moment, because there's a few drivers that didn't pit right now. But as he goes through, is he going to maintain? He's at least getting a couple of these positions back that he got there. And on entry to turn 1, he's back into P8. Ahead of him is Eric Neville and Jason Allen. He did not win out on that. He was ahead of Eric before the pit stop. Now it's behind him. He did a 36.1 and Eric did a 33.2. 3 full seconds. That is it in the bag. That is what puts him right here, 1.2 back from him. It's unfortunate. On entry into turn 1, Brian Zaborowski Jr. Goes to 42, overtaking Alex Othen there, who's in 44th. Braden Daniels finally is able to get by Chris Taylor. They both pit on lap 11 and 12, and there he goes through on by. And you know what? Look at that. Blake Patterson. He's still up there. He's only down 1 position from where we started this race. Good on this guy. Shadow Line Racing. Oh. Oh. I don't know about that one. Let's take a look at this. Justin's expert opinion. Looks like they both... Maybe you have something to say. Where's that helicopter? Alright, helicopter mode. He's braking, and he moves. Chris Taylor has to react. You can see him braking, but... I don't know. No light stewarding here. But he applied the brakes. And it looked like he moved slightly after applying the brakes. But I'm not an investigative journalist. I don't know if that was exactly what I thought it was. I'm going to continue here as Nicholas Mazza is behind both Valhalla Racing drivers of Jeff Koffel and Matthew Wyckoff. Ironically, that's not even the team that they're on. That's just like the general thing that they do. Jeff Koffel is part of the Pit Lane Donuts. Matt Benson's also a Valhalla Racing livery driver. It's all up there. Matthew Baldwin in 50th. Got Dave Palmer just ahead. Now look at this. This is a real battle here. Dave Palmer's gained 1 position from the start of this race. Matthew Baldwin's lost 1 position from the start of this race. So these two have been battling out lap after lap. The one that gained was Dave. The one that lost was Matthew. But Matthew passed the pace. It's only I don't even say it. Not even a 10th. Almost a 10th faster than Dave Palmer on the last. See if he can't make up this and get past him at some point. Alex Othen back, 1 position gain for him. He was down a significant amount, and to that effect, who else has gained here? It's Craig Reese in the Ferrari here. It's looking pretty strong. It's got Eric Koonsman just ahead of him. I was going to say, how is Craig Carroll doing? but he is in the pit lane. He was gaining a lot of his positions back. Ooh! And Eric Rodriguez gets spun. Oh. Just tries to make himself scarce and get out of the way. Almost collects a driver there. And that's Jeff Lubitsch. Just one more for good measure. Go for the blimp view here. The chopper view. Bam! And then the recovery. Almost hits that driver. Great avoidance from the that purple car. Purple and black. Easy Mart Racing, thank you for the follow. Chris Taylor on the outside of Scott Weber into this corner. Turn 5 maybe, as they go side by side. Scott Weber holding it out there. He's 10 positions gained. Chris Taylor looking to make it only 8. He's down 10. How's it going? And we're on lap 18 of 23. Scott Weber maintains position for now. Chris Taylor can always come back and capitalize, but not at the moment. Brandon Renfro down 20 positions. Whoa! Okay. What is that? You can't park that, mate. Got a tow. Sitting right there on Apex. That's that SpongeBob car. At least you can tell it's bright yellow. Can't miss it. And Sandro Churlis. Still no, it's got accents. Lime green is not a color for a classification in this this league. Oh, Benson here. How's it going, Matt Benson? Matthew, sorry. Is that not Michael Thompson? It is Michael Thompson. That's Brian Zaborski Jr. on the outside of that teal and red, as Eric Rodriguez went the long way around on the outside and got past Brian Zaborowski Jr. for P39. And Jeff Lubitsch is right there as well. A maneuver that he hopefully doesn't repeat. Blake Patterson still holding on to P31. It was good on him for having had damage that was repaired in the pit stop, which is great for him. A significant aero loss as well. Christopher Daniel out there in P1 over Ethan Bass. And Christopher Daniel went for the overcut and it worked out for him. He did a 32.6 and Ethan did a 32.8. 2/10 difference. What separated them the most before the pit stop was 3/10. So he just gained a little bit on his overcut, possibly. And yeah, I think that comes really down to it. Maybe, and also look at Ethan Bass's last lap. It's about half a second slower than Christopher Daniel. Jason Allen holding out fairly well, but now he was 1 second back, and now he's almost 2 seconds. He's 4 seconds back to P2, and he's got a 1.7 second gap to Eric Neville. And Peter Flannery, who has not made inroads yet, he was 1.2 seconds back after the pit stops to Eric Neville, and he's only 7/10ths back. Not much change there. And yeah, Matt, as it stands, Jeff Koffel still holding on to P9 over Matthew Wyckoff. These two have been pretty even on pace. One has not made a move on the other. Nicholas Mazza has been completely shut out here. He's unable to get by either one of them so far since he came out of the pits. And then further back in P19, we have Richard Severa and Marshall Scari. Marshall Scari ahead of Richard Severa. Who is that car that had to do some avoidance there in Sunset as they are passing Lee Winters? Rookie class red decals for them. Seriously, Marshall Scari should know that he's in the Pro-Am class. Is he in Pro-Am class? I can't remember. He's in the AM class, right? Oh, he's in the Pro-Am class. Just doesn't have the details on. Alright, hopping on board here, we have Nicholas Mazza, who's still not made a move yet on Matthew Wyckoff, but he's got to feel a little frustrated. Since the pit lane on lap 15, he is behind these drivers as we're on the final lap. And no move. He reeled slightly away there, poor tense. And these drivers are all taking it to the final lap here as Braden Daniels looks to make a move here on Craig Reese. Mark Foley pit on lap 18. He's not too bad, actually, for having only lost 22, considering he had an incident. Legos and Battlefield 4 is what tonight has come to. It is unfortunate when you're not able to register. Hopefully that is going to be settled, but it usually is. Race 1 is always, of a new season, is always a little bit more busy, but a lot of people kind of don't hold to it that well. What is that? Oh, that is Mark Miller in P55, letting them driver by. Battlefield 4 is, yeah, I had my fair share at that. Christopher Daniel made an overcut in the pit stops, and it worked out for him. He is going to take home the victory for the pro class in P1 over Ethan Bass in P2, Jason M. Allen in P3, Eric Neville in 4, Peter Flanner in 5, J.D. Daniel in 6, Jacob Simmons in 7, John Javecki in 8, Jeff Koffold in 9, Matthew Wyckoff in 10, Nicholas Mazza 11, Elliot Burton back in the pro standings he goes, and he is going to be, it shows him with the purple, but I'm sure he's a pro. I'm almost positive he is. P2O for him, Chris Stewart is 13, Joshua Grasso 14, Chris Shirling 15, Spencer Smith is 16. I believe he is in the purple PAMs. Over Chris Lambeth in 17, Marshall Scari in 18, Richard Severa in 19, Trey Misak in 20, Cooper McCoy getting the lead there. No, he doesn't. Max Poe on 21, Cooper McCoy 22, and Siciliano 23, Wesley Bryce 24, Dylan Thomas across the line into 25, Eric Koonsman 26, Charles Whedon 27, Braden Daniels 28, Anthony V. Jacobs 29, Craig Reese in 30, Blake Patterson 31, Matthew Mercier in 32, Scott Weber 33, Chris Taylor 34, Michael Thomas 35, Andrew Korostecki in 36, Brian Zaborowski Jr. in 37, Jeff Lupich 38, Jerry R. Hoops in 39, Eric Rodriguez 40, Terry Burks at 41, Sandra Churlis 42, Brandon Renfro 43, Matthew Baldwin 44, Tyler Kern 44, Dave Palmer 45, Matthew Baldwin 46, Travis Bartlett 45, Dave Palmer is 47, Michael Offen 48, Steve McAllister's crossing the line into 49, Forrest Holland is going to get this over. Mark Foley does not have enough fuel. Forrest Holland goes through to take 50 away from... Oh, Philip Kieser is going to get through, and he's going to make it. Mark Foley does not have enough fuel to make it to the end of this race. He is only... Oh, he is down. This has got to feel bad. He is so close. He's got nothing left. Oh, this is going to be the longest mile for him. It's not even a mile. He's got a little bit further to go. And Mark Foley is in 52. Chris Moulton, 53. Mark Miller, 54. Benito Mazzarello, 55. Lee Winters, 56. Joshua Spears, 57. Christopher Russo, 58. Alex Othen, 59. And across the line, Mark Foley goes. He lands it into 52. And that was no fuel left for him. Alex Alton, 59, Craig Carroll, 60, Colby Mann in 61, and Doug LaRosa in 62. Mark making it across just in time. Fantastic for him. Chris Daniel, thank you for joining me. Congratulations on that race victory. My first question is, did you think the overcut was going to work? It did work, but did you think, like, this is the only move I could do?
Yeah, that was about the only way I was going to get past Ethan. We had such close cars, in terms of speed. He was just running really good lines, defensive lines. Anytime I tried to show a nose, he kind of put it where I couldn't get. Slowed down safely without wrecking each other. So I figured I'd just save a little more fuel and maybe go an extra lap, and that's how it played out.
Yeah, I mean, even in your pit stop, you guys were only separated by 0.3 I believe. So, like, even if you try to, like, underfuel, like, it just still wouldn't have made that much of a difference. And you kept it 0.3, or actually 0.2 most of that race before he went to the pits. So it's got to feel pretty good knowing that as far as that went, I mean, he was never really able to gain that back on you. So were you ever worried after that fact when he started to reel you in towards the end?
Yeah, when I came out of the pits, I had a new left rear tire, and I had the TC settings wrong early in the race, and I overheated it, and I couldn't get it cooled off. So I had a new left rear tire on coming out of the pits, and I just could not get it to turn. It just understeered everywhere. But thankfully, I was able to stay in front of him, and he wasn't able to get around me, and I was able to heat it up and then also keep the left front cool as well. So I didn't have any issues there.
Interesting. And another thing is, was the Mustang the strongest car here? Did you feel it? I'm really curious. Not a lot of people were running the Mustang. Ironically, the ones that were running the Mustang finished 1 through 6, with the exception of Jason M. Allen, who was in third with the Porsche. I mean, was it pretty dominant here?
I think it was pretty good. This weekend was a 12-hour iRacing special event. Well, actually, JD chose the car, so the credit goes to him. And that turned out really well for us this weekend. I think the Mustang has really good stability, which helps it get through, Sunset? And
Mm-hmm.
obviously the top end is really good. The speed is really good. So if you can manage to get it around, the rest of the sections that are pretty critical, like going on to the straightaway, going on to the back down to the hairpin,
Mm-hmm.
that's where this car really excelled as well. You could just tap the throttle and get it to rotate and then just roll into it, and it just ate. It was so planted coming out of those corners. It felt so good. But yeah, credit for the car choice goes to Eric
Mm-hmm.
and JD. They talked me into it. So I hate the Mustang, but tonight and this weekend it prevailed. So I'm happy with it now.
Uh, well, that's awesome for them for picking it. And one of my other questions is, who created the setup, or did you guys use one that's already like a factory one from one of those websites or groups?
Yeah. So we have a bunch that we choose from. This setup, I believe, was Advanced Sim Racing, but we have a few to choose from. So
Okay.
ARA setups or something like that. It was really good. We all tweaked on it during practice because this car did struggle in the heat, and we just made some rear end adjustments to keep it, um, stable and steady, so to speak, coming on throttle, coming onto the front stretch.
Okay, well, I mean, that's awesome to hear. You guys, I know everyone tries to make those tweaks, especially in practice. I mean, you have 4 Pax Oceani drivers that have made it into the top 10. That's got to feel good as a sister teams, as well as like your guys' organizational skills. Unfortunately, what happened with Alex Othen, I mean, I saw at the start him and Craig Carroll came into contact. I mean, but but behind them was actually more scary. There was 4 wide into turn one, like right when it comes right back in, where there's the dirt on the right and there's the tarmac right in front of you. But 4 wide, he was only 3 wide at that moment. He clipped Craig, and then they both kind of tumbled. But oddly enough, they didn't collect anyone else in that incident, and it was jam packed right around them.
Oh wow, yeah. I'll have to go back and watch the replay here. I know Alex said he was having a little bit of an issue with the race today, but obviously we didn't get into specifics in the heat of the moment. But yeah, I
Yeah.
hate it for him. He's such a good driver, and he's usually a pretty clean racer. So I just feel bad that he had such tough luck this weekend, because I think on Saturday he had some computer issues as well. So it sounds like he got over those, but maybe we ran
Yeah.
into some traffic. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate what happened there. I mean, but overall, as a Pax Oceani, you guys really went all out this season with the placeholder name, the insert name here, and my least favorite, the Jimmer Bimmer Power Hour. But thank you guys. Appreciate you guys always giving out the good ones, the good nods there. And Chris Daniel, congratulations on race one winning for season 14. Can't wait to see what you and your team's sister teams do coming in next one.
Yeah, we're excited to be back for this season. Thanks for having us. Thanks for everything you do. Thanks to all the admins, and appreciate everything with the broadcast. That doesn't go unnoticed, and you guys do a really good job with it. So thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining me.
All right, gentlemen, have a good night.
And Eric Koonsman, congratulations. No, you didn't miss it at all. I mean, I guess you were you were the first driver in the AIM class for P1. I mean, I'm trying
I
to.
guess so.
Is that what they said? Because hey, I was able.
Yeah.
It's too early. Race one is a really difficult one for me to discern who's where. I couldn't even figure out which pro-am driver won the pro-am, because a bunch of people are running the pro-am decals, but they're not in pro-am, they're pros, and so it's very confusing. But if you won this one, I mean, I'm not saying if, but congratulations on that one. You did have a pretty solid race. Did you have any issues with any other drivers, any contacts, anything like that? I'm kind of curious, because like it seemed like some people were just having a little bit of bumps that cost them significant amount of time.
Yeah, that first lap was atrocious. There were so many cars out there. Going into turn two, I got bumped in the back. I almost spun out. Luckily, I didn't. But it was pins and needles trying to weave your way through everybody.
And as far as position goes, do you feel like where you're at standing? I mean, it was what I think P40 is where you finished.
26, I think.
26. Oh no,
Yeah.
26. Dang it. So Dylan Thomas is Dylan Maroney. I don't know why you changed his name there, but so in terms of where you are in pace, you were your best lap was a 2024. What were you doing in qualifying? It looks like you gained 12, so that means you probably did a 202 or 203 in qualifying.
I think I did a 202.6 in qualifying. It's really hard to judge because there were so many cars. You really couldn't get a really good lap unless
Yeah.
you were at the front. And then we had a bunch of people almost stop on the backstretch, so a lot of us got black flags before we even got first lap in. So it was really difficult to judge, but during practice and officials, that's pretty close to what it was, about probably half a second off of what my normal time was in officials. So, but it was a lot harder on the track.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do actually have to say, in qualifying, were you scared at any point? Because I remember looking specifically at you not having set a time on the board until the very last lap.
Not really. There, I was still kind of messing with my setting, my setup a little bit.
So you weren't getting off tracks. It was just you weren't providing a solid clean lap.
Yeah, I had one lap I had spun in turn one, and next lap I got an off track. So I had to rely on that third one, but I was still adjusting my back height a little bit to get a little more downforce in that turn one.
Well, it looked like you were able to make it work, and you made some good passes. I mean, 12 positions gained. I know some of those were people just going out. Craig, Alex went out. I think Colby went out. Joshua went out. How many people did you pass that way, or did you get some good overtakes on the track as well?
No, I had some good overtakes, especially that first lap. After the safety car, I think I passed 8 people that first lap.
Wow.
And then after that, there were a couple that I was able to get past, like Whedon. I drove past, and then it was me and Korstecki battling out, nose to rear, pretty much the whole thing till he spun it in the sunset.
Yeah. Oh, he spun in Sunset. He also had contact with Brandon Renfro. Was that when you're so close with him, or was that something you probably didn't even see?
Yeah, I was right behind both of them, and I kind of saw it coming, but Renfro almost collected me on that one. Luckily, I kind of anticipated something going to happen, so I slowed down a little bit more in Le Mans corner and was able to get around it without any damage.
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations, P1, and you did well on this one. I mean, you finished right there in the middle of the Purple Pams, the Pro-Am class drivers. So, race one to you. It's going to be a long one. We have 12 full rounds here. I mean, that's significant change to what we've been previously doing with these six rounds per season, and now it's going to be 12. I hope to see that you can make it to the pro-ams and really battle out. I think you have the pace for it. You showed it. I don't know exactly how close you were to Dylan Thomas there, but towards the end of the race. But congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Good start to the season. We got Watkins in the wet next week, so we'll see how that goes. But thanks, Jason.
Yeah, best of luck to you.
Looking forward to it.
And that is it. Thank you, folks. Appreciate everyone joining. ARCA, that is on. Actually, the Broken Wing Le Mans series rejoins, and I think we're going to start that up on this Tuesday, as well as our Oval Racing League on Wednesdays. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is also going to be out there. That's the new ARCA car that we're running. It's just strictly ovals. I think we're doing a super speedway next, as well as V-Rays multi-class on Thursdays. Don't forget to look at the merch. That's in the About Me section for the Broken Wing Racing merchandise. You can buy some stuff. You can even buy a Jason's Chicken Shop shirt if you. So please, if you do that, then you're going to make Chris Lambeth very happy. Me, not so much, but thank you guys for joining. And can't wait to see what happens on the next one. Next Sunday, racing for round 2. As Eric said, Watkins Glen in the wet. And can't wait to see you guys there. Have a good evening.